Vuori,
I mean, fucking hell.
General Atlantic, and Stripes led a new round of financing of around $800 million, valuing the company at $5.5 billion.
I just became a Vuori guy.
Okay.
That's fucking crazy. Because the reason I say is because like I've been to a couple other stores. I know their website. Like I'm familiar.
Where's your store?
Sherman Oaks.
One, congratulations, because that's bananas valuation.
Do you know them or no?
No, I don't know them.
Are they
and
here?
The brand is less than 10 years old.
What do they do? $1 billion in revenue, I think.
I mean, fuck knows. They might be so profitable, it may not matter.
But like,
but $5.5 billion, that just tells you activewear is still the best place to be. Because you look at On Running, you look at Hoka, you look at Vuori, you look at all of these brands. Nike dropped the ball so hard that it's everyone took their lunch.
Really expensive.
Because
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Well, America is on the path to becoming great again.
Yeah, you guys are doing it. You too.
You know what's funny?
You guys have willed it.
So this is what's funny. I'm not going to allow you to make me MAGA, but I will say what's really funny, and I also will say I'm taking this all with a grain of salt still. But the news for the last week has been insane. Meaning Bitcoin all-time highs.
Yep.
Stock market all-time highs.
Stock market was all-time high even before this.
I know, but now it's gone berserk.
Wokey, let me run through.
I just wanted to
the stock market, by the way, every financial person I did talk to, they were baking in a Trump win. That's why it went up.
Either way, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just having some fun. Like Qatar, was it? Kicked out the leaders of Hamas.
Yes.
Putin said he's ready to talk.
China's ready to talk.
China's ready to talk.
Yeah.
Mexico is being stronger on their side at the border.
Yep.
I don't even remember what else, but it is just, it's been a week. And once again, none of it could materialize. I'm not going to pretend, but I will say the last week has felt like,
oh, is that easy?
like, oh.
Well, here's the thing.
And Gavin Newsom hates all of it.
Gavin Newsom is the biggest idiot of all time, and
we'll talk about it.
If he's the candidate for president,
he won't be.
JD Vance,
he's blowing it right now, though.
Will win 4 terms.
But dude, when you look at the county
won't
by
be the
county,
candidate. There'll be someone else.
I mean, this is my opinion.
Wall Street Journal or one of those newspapers put out like Gavin Newsom is ready for his moment.
No, but those odds are all stupid because no one predicted Trump in 2016. No one predicted Obama in 2008. No one predicted Bill Clinton in 1992.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying the fact that they're even some Democratic operative thought it was good to put that in the universe. Nobody likes him.
But dude, when you look at the fucking map of counties in California,
they went red.
To sit there, like the thing that has blown my mind, and I don't want to go negative, so I'll dip in here really quickly, is instead of the Democrat, mainly media, but also I'd say Gavin Newsom is guilty of this, instead of like taking a beat and just saying like, wait a minute.
Let's see what happens.
Like this was a fucking landslide.
Yeah.
This wasn't like barely squeaked it out.
No.
And to not sit and say, like we need to re-strategize, to start by saying like, I'm going to fight every single one of your policies and blah, blah, blah. So many California residents
don't believe that,
want those policies.
Yeah.
And like to not have a more measured approach is just wild.
But I think that happens in every election.
But this one,
but it's been rare. It has been a while since one has been so landslidey.
2008 was a landslide.
Yeah, but that doesn't, what I'm saying is for California, that was on the right side. So I'm saying, I don't know what Texas did when Obama won. They might've done the same thing Gavin Newsom's doing.
I heard Rogan say that Austin, Texas had more Kamala votes than Los Angeles.
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It's the new Los Angeles.
Well, guess because the new Los Angeles is Beverly Hills, where they were parading in Beverly Hills High School.
Right.
And now they're trying to limit the kids at Beverly Hills High. It was like a MAGA parade at Beverly Hills High School. You go any restaurant in Beverly Hills, everyone is now full MAGA. It is on said it when he walked in. Beverly Hills is New Huntington Beach.
I got to go see. That still blows my mind. I can't picture it.
I'm telling you, I don't think.
But here's the thing: it's not Beverly Hills residents.
But the votes are.
The
Beverly
votes
Hills
are,
was
And
red.
they're having them. I mean, I would imagine people are honking
but
and
they
like,
were
yeah.
doing that 2 years ago.
Right, but I'm saying Beverly Hills is supporting it. They're
Of
not.
course.
But
Yes.
even in New York City, someone posted someone wearing a MAGA hat in Greenwich Village,
Right.
which someone was like, I cannot believe.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
You would have been shot.
We've
in
come a
2016.
long way from the Larry David skit where he wore the MAGA hat so no one would talk to him.
Right.
You wear the
That's
MAGA
so
hat, you're
crazy.
the hit of the party.
Yeah, he can't wear it now because everyone's going to talk to him.
Yeah.
That's a crazy turn of events.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll tell you a funny anecdotes from the Charger game. So at halftime
So to be clear, you went to the Charger game today.
today with the kids, and at halftime, so my youngest Miles, for whatever reason, is obsessed with the Chargers, and he found some song called the San Diego Superchargers. It's like their old theme song. Anyways, there's
How
this
do you find it?
I was gonna ask the same question.
Alexa. He goes, I want to hear Hey Alexa, I want to hear the Chargers song. And they played this song and now he's obsessed with it.
Right.
So anyways, there's a guy standing in front of us, like probably my age, kind of drunk, just singing the song. So Miles looks at me, he's like, oh my God, he knows the song.
Oh my God.
Right. So the guy sees Miles and, starts talking and high-fiving, and he's like, oh, where are you guys from? I'm like, oh, I'm from LA. He's like, I used to live here, but you can't live in LA anymore.
Right.
I live in San Diego. I was like, oh, okay. But we got our problems too, but it's getting cleaned up. And so whatever, he starts talking, and then he's talking to mom about Lakers and whatever. He's like a very chatty, friendly guy. And then he made another comment about LA, and I was like, no, we got a new DA. It's going to get cleaned up.
Right.
He's like, woo, I thought you were on the other side. Thank God.
That's funny. That's funny.
And then he's like, don't worry. He's an Encinitas. We've cleaned it up. We got more conservatives now. Woo!
That's
what he says.
amazing. That's amazing.
I actually warned mom before. I don't know if she told you
Yeah.
because she was at our house last
Yeah.
night and this
Yeah.
morning for kids' breakfast.
Yeah. That at the
And
game.
I said at the game, be very careful.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know you guys aren't going to do anything, but there can be chaos.
Right,
Because
right.
when you wake up Monday morning and you look at social media,
Yeah.
every NFL game
It's just
is
fights.
just UFC.
Yeah.
Right. What's happening? Why are
had
people
very
fighting?
good.
It's just
This is what they're
post-COVID.
doing. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just post-COVID.
So you were just saying be careful at the game in
I was like,
general.
yeah, I just said, hey, mom, just be very aware. You're going to be with two young kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, D can handle himself, but Miles can't.
Right. I feel like kids usually exempt you from fist fighting.
Kids does.
No, but I just said if it just
The melee?
explodes,
Right.
we were in like
you just get knocked over.
Right.
we were in a nice section, so it was.
I mean, Miles had two.
yeah,
banged up
he hurt his knees because he fell down because he was racing Dominic.
I mean, I was golfing today, and I was like, he's like, where do you live? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I don't really want to move because everyone I know has been robbed. He's like, oh, yeah, I got robbed, Thanksgiving. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, it stole everything, blah, blah, blah. But like, it's every person.
So on the positive side, because I know people are still like licking their wounds and still upset and angry. I obviously talked to a lot of founders, and the enthusiasm is through the roof.
Right.
And it kind of echoes how we ended the last pod on that, like, there is a sense of enormous hope that a lot of the blocking federal government has done in helping businesses gets removed.
Right.
And the big thing was interesting. My co-founder Josh is at like a tech conference this weekend. And, this just so happens in this particular cohort of founders, they're all pretty generally conservative guys, but they are brimming with optimism that, like, despite a lot of, and these are companies that are in supply chain. So what happens in China matters. They're affected by all of the world issues, that they're very optimistic. And what's interesting, and I don't know if you saw, some Twitter account, maybe Patrick Collison or one of those guys posted something about pessimists don't make money, optimists do. And I think if you can separate the fact that there's some issues that will not go your way with Trump, you would be dumb not to ride the potential opportunity that is coming. And the reason why, the easiest comparison is there's something called consumer confidence that people track.
Right.
And the reason why that's so important is consumer confidence is so important to spend because regardless if the consumer has money or not, they spend it.
Right.
And if they feel confident, things rip.
Right.
And what's happening, what I'm seeing firsthand with founders are extremely optimistic. Right. That will then go into fundraising. That'll then trickle down into wages. That'll trickle down, hopefully, into other parts of the economy. But more importantly, if all of a sudden these leaders in finance are very optimistic, you're going to start seeing a consumer that's more confident.
Right.
If the consumer gets confident, they'll start spending because here's the thing. The low-end consumer is still hurt by inflation. So if we don't see any policies or any material shifts in the near future, the low-end consumer is still going to be plagued. The mid to high-end consumer in America is still doing okay. They're still spending. And the other interesting thing, and I don't like to equate these two things together, but the stock market and crypto and everything just ripping out of its fucking mind right now is going to give a lot of these boomers or whoever has money in the market a lot of confidence to spend.
And I forgot to add, we got a 25 basis point cut.
And a 25 basis point cut.
I have to say two different things. So one, I think business people are over exaggerating the benefits of a Trump presidency.
No, but here's the thing. It's that doesn't even matter.
Me finish.
I know, but I want to clarify because I've just said that has nothing to do with policy. It's how they feel.
It's
fine. It's a vibe.
So if you're an entrepreneur or business founder, if you don't build your company, it doesn't matter if Trump's in presidency or if AOC is the president.
AOC will never be president.
You have to. My point is, I'm going opposite ends.
Yeah.
You have to build a good company. And now everyone has this misconception, oh, Trump's here, money's going to fall from the trees and we're all going to get rich. But guess what? If you're not an equity holder, it doesn't matter. If
well,
you're
half
not,
the country are in equities.
I think to Dee's point, is
no, but the founders, I think that's really if I was an investor and a founder that thinks this week changed their trajectory of the,
I'll tell you why.
And I'm an investor in a lot of companies.
Most of those people were in defense. 50% of the founders in this conference are in defense.
If they're Anduril, yes. If they're Anduril, that's it.
Okay. Well,
50%
maybe they were
from Anduril.
If 50% of that conference is from Anduril, I would say, you're going to win.
There's also a lot of software companies that service the government that are getting, you have to remember, the entire Elon posse is going to get benefited.
Of course.
And that's who
But name one other than Anduril.
I can't name the names of the people. It's everyone you know. Every one of Elon's posse was at this conference.
So, okay, if you're a defense company that is related to Elon, you will benefit regardless of how you build your company.
I know, but
if you're not, you need to build your company.
I know, but if you feel better,
what does that mean?
That's everything.
Donald Trump going to build your tech?
No, but it's how you feel. If you feel like you're being disenfranchised by your government, you don't work as hard.
I think that's
I'm going to jump in and play my role here. I think you guys are both right. I think that optimism. I mean, look, we all know that consumer confidence, the stock market as a whole, thinking times are going to get better is a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. So is thinking times are going to get worse for the individual person. I think you're both right. I think that there is a momentum that is very important, but momentum alone and optimism alone won't build a company.
Execution still matters.
The people who build great companies during this time will probably be rewarded potentially a little bit more than in dark negative times. But yes, there is no shortcut to still building a great company. Also, I think the optimism is sugar on top.
If you're a defense company that is funded by either Joe Lonsdale, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, or David Sachs, you will do great.
Right. But I think, look, if you're a founder, if I talk to a founder right now, I would want them
Why would you be bummed out by a Trump presidency? There's no reason to be bummed out.
I don't think you should be bummed out either way. You have to build a good company.
I think if Harris had won and you're in tech, particularly tech, that's my world now, you'd be bummed out. She's not going to allow, she'd leave Lena Khan in the FTC and no M&A will ever happen again.
No,
yes, that's pretty common. It's that.
But the
that
problem
was
is you
an
guys are both arguing a fact. Like you got to listen. Like you're arguing a very narrow view of both being right. Like the optimism of M&A and just an environment that is friendlier to business is good. And if I was betting on founders, I would want the founder that does think that the next 4 years are going to be amazing. I just wouldn't want the founder that thinks Trump is going to save a shitty business. Yeah, it's just a nuance, right?
Yeah, but
you're both
way,
right.
The way I hear people talking, because it's not just you guys, it's numerous people that they feel like there's this money tree coming because he's there. And I agree, if you're a hedge fund manager, if you're a private equity investor, if you own a lot of public equities,
right?
Yes, you're going to make a lot of money.
Right.
Crypto. But if you're an entrepreneur building a company, sure, optimism. But guess what? If your margins don't hold, if your customers don't exist, and you don't have repeat customers,
but that's a
matter
given.
if it's
But
Trump
you're right.
or anything.
You're right. That is a no-brainer. I think nobody disagrees with that. One thing that I'll add as a little bit more of nuance is this is why me personally, I'm speaking for myself. I'm not saying this is a fact. I was saying that an administration that is negative towards business is not good for the morale or the economy of the country. Like one of the biggest things that I said was, I don't want an administration that hates constantly on our most successful entrepreneur or entrepreneurs.
I think that it exists at the highest of levels.
What do you mean?
Google, Facebook, Apple.
Right, but that's what it does. Is if you hate on Elon Musk, you are saying to the country, like, success and this American greatness is inherently bad.
But if you think about even Tesla and all his ancillary companies, Boring Company, Neuralink, what's SpaceX. They all were at record highs under a Democratic administration.
But I would say in spite of the government. But let me say this. Here's my point. The same way that when Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson in boxing, probably in 5 days, as sad as that is, sales of boxing gloves go up because little kids say, I want to do that one day. I want to be like Jake Paul. And I'm just saying there's a little bit here of like, if we celebrate how great the accomplishment of Elon catching the rocket with the arms and we celebrate great business achievements, more people get amped to start businesses. Now, are all of those going to succeed just based on optimism? Absolutely not. But is it better for the entrepreneur environment? Like, you need to believe you can do it. And if you start by kind of believing that it's not possible or that, the government is tough on small businesses or that whatever, you're not going to do it. And so you're right on, and that optimism isn't going to make you a good business. But I think that the good news is there is a sense it seems like in the entrepreneur landscape that you got a good shot and you should go for it. And there's going to be good times.
A business-friendly environment.
Right. And I think that it's not that necessarily the percentage of businesses that are started that succeed is going to go up, but maybe the percentage of businesses that even get started goes up. And therefore we have more. It's just, I think it's good. Yeah. This optimism is good. Yeah. If you're delusional and you think Donald Trump is going to create you a Shopify business, you're an idiot. And you were going to fail last year and you're going to fail this year.
And the vice versa is if you are in a bad financial situation and you think Donald Trump's going to put you in a worse situation, you're probably going to end up in a worse situation because it is a self-fulfilling prophecy of how you think about things. So there are a lot of people that woke up, this week and are mad at the world. And the reality is it is what it is. We all have no control over that. You might as well ride some of the optimism on the things that you can be a part of.
So the optimism, you have to figure out how it even applies to you.
Yes.
Just being optimistic doesn't matter.
You are correct. Yeah. There's a bunch of idiots that are really inspired right now that are going to fail no matter what.
Yeah.
But I would say that the net number of winners will probably go up because the net people just getting in the game. I think there's a big difference when Donald Trump sits at his fucking presidential victory speech and says, we have to protect our geniuses. Elon, Dana White, man, these are great. This is America. I think that's good for the entrepreneurial landscape. The same way if he sat there and said, we got to protect our football players, I think more people would be inspired to play football. I think, and that's part of what makes America so special is our entrepreneurship.
Past, the rich were vilified for being rich. They were not celebrated for how they got rich. That's a big difference.
Right.
They just everyone wants to hate on the wealthiest people in this country. The wealthiest people in this country are not generational wealth. They're fucking first time wealth motherfuckers.
Right.
The Elons, the Zuckerbergs, the Bezos, these guys.
Yeah, they came from nothing.
Yeah,
no, I agree.
They did it the right way. And we have this opportunity to like inspire people because of how they did it. But instead, Bezos, Musk, Zuckerberg, they're attacked all day.
Right. Which just gives you I mean, I've felt in a mild way, not any sort of, this isn't a sad story, but like the last 4 years, I've kind of felt like it's not cool to be successful, or like you have to be extra careful with how you talk about it, or, you know,
well, that's just because of safety reasons.
That's definitely true. But I feel like, you know,
you don't want to tell anyone you have $1 in LA. You're jacked.
I just do feel like I mean, I'm being honest. Like, I feel like the landscape kind of felt like success isn't cool right now.
Yeah. Because people are struggling.
Right.
So the one thing I talked to a bunch of friends up north in Silicon Valley over the last week.
Are these the same ones that said Kamala landslide?
No.
Oh, these are the statistics geniuses.
I'm
That
going
said
to
that?
tell those guys to
They weren't-
shut up.
Yeah.
No, they're pretty measured folks.
Because I know they were
knew,
smart.
Anyone who was smart knew Trump was winning.
No, I know Anand's probably talking about some smart motherfuckers that thought Kamala landslide. You just can't say landslide.
No, none of these people. So the point is very different. That if you think about who's now running the government, it's the PayPal mafia. It's Elon Musk.
Right.
It's Peter Thiel, David Sachs, Joe Lonsdale,
right,
and a handful of other folks. JD Vance, who's a Peter Thiel kind of crony.
Yeah.
And
that's why.
I mean, that's who I want running my government.
So you know what's? I'll tell a story. It's 2014, so 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I went with a close friend who you guys all know, and you could assume who it is. We go to Joe Lonsdale's house.
I was there.
Oh, you were there?
Yeah.
And we were in the car, and he warns me, and you were in the car. I don't know if you remember this. He goes, hey, let me just give you a heads up. We're going to walk into this like tech, event. Bubble. And they're going to start saying crazy shit, how we're going to take over the government. And they're going to say all this crazy stuff.
No way.
And he said this in the Uber over to his house.
Damn, they did it.
And they fucking did it.
That's why.
Whoa. That's
so
trippy. That's trippy that you saw 10 years ago and you're like, yeah, okay.
And even, our friend was just like,
right.
Yeah.
Did
this
you
is
talk
crazy.
to your friend about?
No, I haven't since, but
that's nuts. Well, hey, man.
Well, here's the thing.
They just waited till they had the vessel.
No. They
just found the moment.
They were working this entire time.
I know,
but
but
if you
they
think
made a
about it-
contrarian bet.
Yeah.
Elon basically did you have Jack 10 and Hold'em, Texas Hold'em poker, and you're like, I'm going all in.
Yeah.
He didn't have pocket aces.
No.
But he found the moment.
But he did have, which is why what I love about tech is he had data, and he looked at X, and he's like, fuck. I bet you he had someone in the office who's like, this place is conservative, and we may not represent like every single view in America, but we represent a huge chunk.
Right.
And
did you see Dana White claim that Elon made an app that tracked the votes in a different way?
Yeah.
Judging by like
and
what
that's
county.
why he said game, set, match.
Yeah, like 4 hours early, he was like, all right, I'm leaving. He left Mar-a-Lago and was like, Trump won. While they were all waiting on Pennsylvania or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
What the other interesting thing
the
is,
Democrats pushed him there, though, man.
yeah, this was a very winnable election.
Wow,
for the
Bitcoin
Democrats.
82,000.
Oh,
What?
man.
Bitcoin 82,000.
You love it. You love
I
MAGA.
wonder how
you know
much
what
money
Bitcoin
Anand
would be
made.
at with Harris?
I wonder if-
52,000.
If you take out this minor coupon hang up, I wonder how much Anand made in the last fucking week.
Tons. Of course. Everyone. You think everyone in
that
Silicon
smile.
Valley is cheering Trump
Right.
on? Come on. I am very cautious. The market is ripping way too hard.
Yeah, no,
that's true.
there
That's
should
true.
be a correction.
Yeah, like, by the way, like, none of his policy has been set.
No
This
one knows
guy's
what he can
inept.
get done. And
But I think like people are going to jump in. Like this whole week, I feel like all the retail Joes are going to hop in.
so,
Yeah.
yeah, to your point about Retail Joe, so if you think about Bitcoin, Zach actually sent me this. Google search trends, Bitcoin's really low right now. And then I went and looked on the App Store. Bitcoin's like a number 80 app.
I mean, Coinbase.
Or sorry, Coinbase is a number 80 app. And when the ramp up happened in 2018,
Right.
Coinbase was the number one app
Right.
every day. So this is all institutional money. And then now people are suspecting that it's sovereign governments that are actually buying.
I mean, the S&P is going to become GameStop. Because like, you know what happens now
Yeah.
this whole week, every person is going to jump in.
Everyone's going to call their stockbroker.
Retail Joe's coming in this week. 'Cause
Like, even though the pop should probably be over now. It's
Look, I
gonna
bet you
now get
institutions
prolonged.
are all out this week. They're all
Yeah.
going to
no, they're going to wait for Retail Joe to pump it.
And then they're
20,
gonna
30,
screw-
then they're all
'Cause by
done.
the
Then
way,
what's
like-
going to happen is they're going to pump it even more. You're going to have 2 weeks of pump. And
because
then
like here's the thing is the market's completely out of control. Like there's not enough good data to say that we've turned the corner on everything.
there's nothing.
There's
There's
nothing.
nothing but some YouTube videos from Trump
Yeah.
saying what he's going to do.
So my gut sadly tells me is we should go back to at least where we were pre-election, which is still
It was already high.
which is already very high.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get a correction here. This is a joke.
But
Well,
the
what if
fact
you
that
don't?
Retail Joe
I
hasn't
think we'll
even
get it.
come into crypto.
No. Bitcoin could go to 100 and then go back to 70.
But think about this. I'm just saying, we're just talking this out. Think about the fact that like probably on Inauguration Day, you're going to get another pop just because, I don't know, big moment. He's
Yeah.
now in. Then he enacts a couple policies, pop.
yeah.
I mean, this could last a year
Before it really pops.
before it really dumps. I'm just curious. I have never seen momentum. To be honest with you, and please everyone take this lightly, other than my vague memories of when Obama first got elected. Yes, there wasn't the same, or maybe I just wasn't tuned into the same level of hate, but there's like a lot. I mean, people are texting me left and right.
The positivity
Yes.
that I'm getting sent
Yes.
is like I won something.
Yes. Yeah.
Like I went
But
out.
I think that's what's dangerous for the people that believe that.
no, but it's good. It's also good. Positivity is good.
Positivity is good. It's just like Obama hope change.
And he
Good.
did nothing, so it didn't matter.
He did a lot of things.
So exactly.
But
Why
Obama
can't
never
you-
had like a crash moment.
Well, he came into a crash.
He came into
Right.
a
But I'm
crash.
saying like there was never like a sobering. Obama really left
there's-
office as like he did it.
Yeah.
But there's
even though a
no
lot of
crash
people-
right now. That's the problem. The economy's still pretty healthy.
What I'm saying is we might be able to get by 4 whole years of optimism.
Yeah. Because if there's no structural problem with the economy, you could just cruise, and it'll be JD Vance's problem.
yeah,
right?
JD
And, like-
Vance might be the worst president of all time.
I mean, I'm telling you guys, I think that like if you zoom all the way into like Ohio, I think it's the difference of people sort of giving up on even entering the workforce
Yes.
and going out and getting a job and saying, you know what,
Yeah.
I'm contributing to
You-
this.
can I tell
think
you
it
something?
matters. I think
Can I tell you something? If I wasn't on like the momentum positivity train,
Right.
because like I kind of knew this was happening and I was okay with Trump winning and I'm fine with it.
Right.
But if I was on the other side of it, this is just being me, I would be bitter.
Yeah.
And I would miss out on the opportunity.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times in my life I was bitter and didn't see the obvious play.
Oh yeah. So many times.
But what's the opportunity?
No, but here's the thing.
But why would you sit out if you're your own person and you need to provide and you want to live a good life?
No, it's bitterness.
Why would you sit
bitterness.
out?
I know. I think that we're not talking about starting companies or like,
even if you're an employee, why would you sit out?
Let me give you an example.
No,
I'll give you an example that comes to my mind.
That's what I don't get. Like,
I think a lot of middle class people are disenfranchised.
I'll give you an example that comes to my mind is when LeBron James left Cleveland. I knew people very closely that said, it's over. It's over for our town. It's over. And it affects the way that they went out the next day. Like, did they go look for jobs? Did they go look for, like the person that's coming to my mind exactly is an electrician. And they didn't have the same spirit to go out and look for opportunity and jobs and things. And then I remember when LeBron went back to Cleveland and it was the opposite. And literally my mom told me that everyone was like in the grocery store, like high-fiving and like just the mood was higher. And people thought, you know what, there's going to be so much opportunity because so many, restaurants are going to open up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to go. It's just the difference of like, if you feel hopeless, you don't act. And when you feel hopeful, you make that extra call or you go do that thing. And I think if you go
Obama won on one word. Hope.
Yeah, right. If you go on a job by job basis in regular America, I think it has a big effect.
I think like just seeing.
I'm curious, especially because I agree back. Even the LeBron example, even Obama.
That's LeBron, and I live an hour away. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about LeBron, not the president. And I'm talking about...
But in Ohio, LeBron is the president.
I know, but thinking that...
Like now Trump is the president. Did he win Ohio?
He did. Honestly thinking that Trump and JD... Thinking that Trump or that LeBron is going to impact the amount of houses you have to do electrician work is like not real.
Yeah.
But I talked to somebody very closely who believed it. And it was like... Do I have a future? Do I have a career? Are things going to get better for me or are they not? Based on LeBron, I'm not talking about Trump.
Yeah.
And I just think...
And LeBron definitely has no impact on that. So
no, and
there's a slight chance Trump could.
Right.
Well, LeBron actually did revitalize downtown Cleveland.
Downtown Cleveland, sure, fine. We're talking about this
because when we went...
Yeah, but that's different.
No, you are right, but not Akron.
And like that's one block in Cleveland because I was recently there.
Like if you
the rest of the blocks still suck.
If you had a restaurant a block away from the arena in Cleveland, you are right to be optimistic. If you're fucking wiring houses in Akron, it makes no difference.
Yeah, I think once you get out of the whatever, when Bitcoin hits $100,000, you'll change your mind. That
this guy's going to come out of a fog and just be rich as shit.
You're going to be like, whoa.
Like, wait a minute.
By the way, because you're making all this money, you're going to invest more money. You're going to buy more things. That's a stimulant to the economy. That's the reality.
So what's going to happen when Bitcoin hits 100K?
You're definitely going to have confidence in your life. You're going to still be sulking about fucking tariffs? You know what? No, you don't give a fuck about tariffs.
Tariffs actually matter more for me.
I'll tell you what.
I don't know. If Bitcoin goes to 1 million, it might not matter to you.
I'll tell you what. I am one of these people. I just realized because today, based more on Hochman, I was online looking at watches. I didn't buy one. I'm probably not going to buy one, but I was just like, this is interesting. What if you can do this again?
Yeah.
So are you actually, apparently he goes in office in December.
Great. Christmas is going to be booming in California. Then.
I mean, imagine.
You know what's crazy? So I don't know if you guys noticed this.
I mean, I don't want to be what we're kind of joking about right now, but like, I'm now more open to it.
I would have if I had voted for Harris, I'd probably not share the same opinion because I'd be bitter and angry.
Well, you got it for a little bit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And so I now. Like in 2016, no matter what Trump did, I wouldn't have cared. It's all bullshit.
Yes.
Right? I was a hater. I was angry. I was a hater. Today, I'm totally fine with him being president. And I hope to ride the wave of optimism that everyone has. Right. And I think what you're seeing is this like, I don't know. I mean, at least around people that I work with, in terms of founders, specifically founders, there's a lot of optimism amongst them.
Right.
That like, I got so many let's fucking goes.
Don't you think, and I guess more so on it, because I know you think it, D, correct me if I can't say this, D's running a company that a potential outcome is IPO.
Yes.
Can I say that? Okay. I do think that if there was a 70% chance that D IPOs in the next 4 years, it might be 80 now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because if the market goes up and the M&A goes up and the appetite for IPOs go up, and we all know this is momentum, you know, it's like if IPOs are succeeding, more people are going to have
Investing
IPOs.
is a momentum game, not an actuality game.
Right. It could increase your likelihood of having an IPO by, who knows? I don't think it's 50%,
No,
but it could be 20.
Yeah. Or even getting an exit, right? Like right now, that was not a possibility. Anyone raising money today in tech knew there was no outcome of you getting your company sold.
Right.
There's been no M&A the last 4 years. Investment bankers have had a thumb up their ass.
Right. It's all fucking momentum. If there's 5 successful, huge M&As announced, people are going to look for the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th.
Yeah.
If there's none, or just Google's getting broken up and this is happening and that's happening.
Yeah.
I think I view it similar to crypto. It doesn't matter who's in office. If you build a great company,
you have to say that. That's the company line. You have to
if
say
you
that.
build a great product, you're going to get it eventually.
But let me ask you this.
So that's the same with crypto.
I know, but like
I've seen 90% drawdowns in crypto. It never broke my spirit.
But you're like
an entrepreneur it would break their spirit and they'd be a loser.
Right. So listen, you are like a super crypto purist, and
not even crypto purist. That's how I think about business.
I know, but I think that also,
if you have conviction, you hold.
Let me tell you this.
You need
Do you not agree that at this point, whether Bitcoin succeeds or not has nothing to do with the quality of the product and everything to do with the psychology of if people believe that it is money or not?
I don't think people have to believe it's money or not. I think it's geopolitical issues that now have accelerated the growth of the adoption.
Right, but don't you agree that like whatever, the only thing that makes money is a
belief
just
system.
a belief
social
system,
agreement
or an asset? Because Bitcoin's not money; it's an asset now.
Sure, fair. But the only thing that makes it an asset, the only thing that makes gold valuable or paper dollars valuable, US dollar valuable, is there's psychology to this whole thing.
So the other thing I want to point to all these founders that Josh was at a conference with that think it's, money's falling from the trees. I've been investing since 2008.
Yeah.
My best companies have taken 11 to 12 years to actually hit an exit.
Right.
It's not happening in 4 years.
I know, but we have JD Vance for 8. So we have 12 years of pure dominant.
But also, we're not talking about like companies starting today and IPOing in 4 years. We're saying the IPO market could get more
I think
exciting.
Everyone assumed the IPO market was going to open up next year, regardless of who was.
It might, but I think it's a little bit more likely. Here's my point about Bitcoin: is if you have if you agree that at least a portion of Bitcoin's success has to do with psychology, not quality of product or code, then an administration that is more supportive of it as opposed to constantly demonizing it and saying they're going to shut it down. I mean, I'll tell you, I, as a Bitcoin investor in a small way, felt really on edge the last 4 years that like, look, man, at the end of the day, the government could just make this fucking thing illegal. And that doesn't mean it would go away, but it would be substantially smaller. And instead, having an administration that supports it and encourages it is just different.
You saw every crypto candidate that was pro-crypto got elected. 100% of them.
Right. And I mean, Donald Trump went to like crypto conventions and said, the first thing I will do is support and blah, blah, blah. And it's just, I think the psychology of it also really matters. Like, look, for years, what did we do? We sold fucking hoodies with graphic design on them. There was nothing special about them. Yeah. Anyone can make a hoodie. The thing that made it sell or not was a fucking, if you thought it was cool or not. And did that logo, right. Did that logo, you just talked about a friend's kid who's 7 years old, who is already seeing some pushback and sort of bullying, we'll say, over whether her fucking metal jug says Stanley or not.
Yeah.
And I just think psychology plays a way bigger role in, it's not just quality of product. I think you have to invest with that mindset. You can't invest hoping someone catches a wave.
I think investing 100%. I don't think building companies
We'll have to see.
I just don't see it.
Let's talk. Let's timestamp that in 4 years.
Look, I don't think. Once again, if you said just for easy math, 100 companies are started next year, and 10 of them are going to succeed. I'm not saying that number goes up to 20. I'm just saying that 200 companies get started instead of 100, and so you're going to have 20 winners instead of 10. That would be my guess.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, look, I think we're going to see a variety of policies that are going to come out, and what we do know is no matter what, this guy is pro-business.
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. After this week of putting out all these fucking videos of his policies, I feel sketched about him making it to January.
Yeah.
And like he publicly said Mike Pompeo is not on his.
Pompeo out.
Right. And he's saying like cleaning up the whole fucking we're doing all this crazy shit. And like, he's
taking a page out of like Javier Milei in Argentina and just basically all you motherfuckers are out.
Well, but that doesn't work in America. They don't have the CIA.
Yeah, because it's Peter Thiel, Elon, and all these guys telling him what to do.
Libertarians.
And if you look at who Peter Thiel's mentor is, you should read his Wikipedia. It's very interesting.
I don't know who it is.
Who's his mentor?
I don't know the name off the top of my head, but I've read the Wikipedia.
Right.
It's pretty aggressive.
Well, I mean, we'll fucking see. He
played the game. He got his guy in fucking power.
No, I think it's they all played the contrarian bet.
They think about it. They're VCs, right?
Yeah,
they took a bet.
Yeah, it's just you need to get one right.
Yeah, and they
got
smart.
one right.
They basically hit Microsoft.
Yeah,
right?
they run the world now.
Yeah, they literally run the world. I mean, you see Elon, who should be the Speaker of the House. He just put a poll out on Twitter. He literally put a poll out. Who should be the Speaker of the House?
It is so, I mean, look, if nothing else, it's entertaining as fucking hell.
Yeah.
And look, if we're replacing fucking Mitch McConnell and, good, Nancy Pelosi, I don't know. Maybe I've lost faith, but I'm willing. I don't want to, contrary to a lot of 2016 thoughts, I'm not a burn it to the ground type of guy, but I definitely am let's try some wild new shit.
Yeah, I used to be a burn it down type of guy.
Right.
And I just see too many people going the other direction. And I'm like, all of these smart people and a lot of my friends are all feeling this way.
Right.
Could I be wrong?
Right.
And I felt like I was wrong. And I felt that, and then seeing that the majority of the country voted one way, and this is the country I live in, I was like, I might as well get on the train.
Well, that's my point is I think, not you on it, I think people that are like screaming racism online.
Do you know how many people, do you watch like these MSNBC commentators?
I see clips.
Blaming.
I know. Misogyny and sexism and racism. And my point is like, if you can't just take a look and be like, so I am now saying that the majority of the country is racist, sexist, out of their mind, misogynistic, terrible people. If you can't take a second, even if you're not happy about it, like once again, that's why I'm not talking about Anand, because I know Anand's like totally fine, even though he might be a little frustrated. Like if you think that like everyone
is racist,
sexist, like you gotta fucking
look,
just take a moment to be like, you don't even have to say like, I fuck with Trump.
Let's just say you assume that, right? That everyone's racist and sexist, which I think a lot of people actually do believe that.
Right.
What are you going to do?
Be miserable and miss out on fucking
the optimist.
Bitcoin popping off.
By the way, Bitcoin is 100% sexist. It's a 100% dominated by male industry.
It's open to anyone who wants to buy it.
I know, but that's a sexist industry.
Know who Satoshi is. Probably a fucking
who's Satoshi?
Toxic
no
masculine.
one knows.
Toxic man, jerking off.
Yeah.
Talking down.
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, well, listen, we are going to have, we talked about this for a long time about having nonstop topics leading up to the election.
Yeah.
But what I didn't account for is like back then was like this Elon fucking RFK. What like RFK is already standing in front of the FDA making videos. Like I'm fucking coming in there, coming for your Fruit Loops.
Cleaning up.
Yeah,
Right. So there's going to be so much.
I'm just curious because given the characters behind Trump now,
Right.
how much they want to change, I'm really interesting how this experiment works in the sense that what they can actually get done.
They control the Senate and House.
Can they? No,
And
but
Supreme Court.
Yeah.
So
Control
RFK
everything.
needs, I think, 54 votes, and there's a handful of Republicans, even though they control the Senate, that aren't going to vote for him
Oh, to get approved.
to get
If you
approved.
can't do it now, you'll never be able to do it. So this is a test. of,
Yeah,
like,
this
what
is the
can you
experiment.
do?
What can you do?
Right.
What can you actually change dramatically? And can you really change that federal bureaucrats, which I actually agree with, can't work with the companies that they policy under?
Right. I don't know. Right.
This is
Seems doubtful.
This is it. This is the last chance to ever change any of that.
But I will say, like, once again, I said it before, like, I have no question if democracy is real.
Yeah.
Because fucking everyone in government hated this dude.
Yeah.
You can't question it. I mean,
By
that,
the
that
way,
one
I mean, how
graph
mad
is a
is
little
like
funky.
Mitch McConnell? He don't want to deal with this guy.
He's out, right?
He's out.
Yeah.
He
But I'm just
retired.
saying, like, think about like your legacy.
I mean,
you're
Nancy
trying to,
Pelosi
yeah, these people,
is
they're the
so
worst.
pissed.
They're
Right.
the worst.
Obama really fucking let me down, man. Whenever anyone,
Obama should have stayed silent this election and then waited to back the right horse. He knew she was not going to win.
I know, but he
He's
got
a
on
very smart
stage and
guy.
said like straight up lies.
Yeah.
That you know are lies.
I think he unnecessarily hurt himself.
I used to like whenever anyone would ask me like your dream podcast guest, your dream, it was always Obama, and now he just seems
They just part of the.
he just got roped in.
I think
Yeah.
everyone becomes swampy, though.
right.
Well, Trump has.
You know what else seems fucked up to me is that they paid all these.
Everyone.
It seems fucked that you can pay like Beyonce to come.
Oh yeah, did you read all of this?
Yeah,
Yes.
20 million bucks.
They spent. First of all, they're in debt.
20 million.
Harris, 20 million.
Apparently.
Trump has given the olive branch to clean it up.
Things are good.
He's like, I'm here for unity.
Give you 20 million in Bitcoin.
So he's happy to help Paris
Flip her coin.
flip a coin.
Yeah.
You can flip, you don't have to flip a whole one.
Right.
And
But when you
the amount of money
Yes.
that was spent on celebrities, like who in the Harris campaign thought paying Beyonce to not perform?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know you could do that.
Of course you can.
I didn't know that you could pay Beyonce to come out on stage and give a speech about how important it is that you win, not perform. I could see if she just performed.
And it said
didn't
Oprah
speak.
got $1 million for the interview.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I mean, if you think about the NFL, you realize all those military campaigns
Yeah.
are paid for. They
yeah,
pay
like the
NFL.
flyovers, the
Yeah.
national anthem.
They
Yeah.
have to pay the NFL to be able
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked too.
That's
But I
actually, honestly, way worse than anything because the people in the stands think we're just this patriotic country, which I am a patriot. I love America.
Right.
I'm all
You're not like
USA.
Michael Strahan. If you were at the game
Edit all
today,
that. Edit the
Why?
edit the
What did Michael Strahan
silence.
do?
he didn't put his hand on his heart during the national anthem, like on like a USS.
Today?
Yes, it's Veterans Weekend.
Oh, come on.
You just got to do it.
Just come on, dude.
It's just out of respect.
Just give it a chance. You know?
So my point is,
Right.
the U.S. military has to pay the NFL
Yeah.
for all those flyovers
Right.
and advertisements that everyone in the stands. This is where the fraud is because the 18-year-old kid sees the flyover, sees U.S. military, is like, oh, I'm going to go kill myself for this country.
Right.
Yeah. No,
Right.
of course
It's
that's
fucked up.
propaganda.
But I also
So
didn't-
Trump's going to end that.
Is he?
He
He may
doesn't
double
want
it.
to do any wars. It's over.
no need to recruit.
He doesn't even like the kickoff. I agree with him on that. That's a policy I agree with.
The kickoff is bad.
Yeah.
He was like, what are they doing?
Right.
It's unbelievable how this guy comments on everything.
You know what you guys have to watch? I mean, maybe not you on it, but do you have to watch it? And Anand, I wish you would watch it. Is they put out, I didn't realize this. It was on Twitter, just one episode. There's a documentary called The Art of the Surge
Okay.
on Apple. And it's like a 6-part I think 30-minute or hour long per episode documentary about Trump's campaign. Like the guy was with him on the whole campaign, including when he got shot.
This
Yes.
is, oh my God.
When he got shot, they have angles you've never seen. They have backstage stuff. That's where that, there's that clip that's going viral of Trump watching Kamala's
coming up with like
with
jokes.
tweets. Yes. And it's from that. And it's really fucking good. And he's at like the Alabama game and he's like commenting on it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is I finally had listened to a good episode of Joe Rogan.
Oh, jeez.
I was just curious just to...
Oh, now you're Joe Rogan because you're a Trump guy.
Yeah, right. Look at him.
Well, he finally had a good episode.
Who?
The Dave Smith.
Oh, God.
I loved it.
Well,
Obviously,
you would
you're
love
full
that.
Trump.
Yeah.
No, he's a libertarian.
Yeah, but he's full Trump.
But no, they were...
What's funny is he
to it.
was anti-Trump. Not anti, but like...
But all of these guys were anti-Trump. That's the point, is that like...
Do you think there's this overcorrection of everyone think they're smarter than the so-called experts, which is where I think we're
Well, the
headed.
Democrats are definitely that.
No, forget Democrats.
Like, you mean like mainstream media and like...
no,
because-
meaning like the Dave Smiths, Rogans.
Who's the expert though?
I don't know who the expert is, but everyone now thinks they're the expert, and they figured it out and said, we don't need to listen to what people are telling us. We can figure it out on our own.
I don't know. My answer is I don't know. We'll have time will tell.
Time will tell, because it's kind of leaning in this, like, I don't believe anything that people are telling me.
Yes, I agree with you. But I think that like, look, when Rogan like went through that COVID thing and then CNN slandered him. And then here's the thing is when CNN's, I forget his name.
Sanjay Gupta?
Yeah. Came on the pod
Yep.
and got sort of punked by Rogan. Like, yeah, you could overcorrect. But real quick, you know what? I think I was just listening to maybe the Dave Smith one where he says that Tony Hinchcliffe went on stage at the mothership and it was like roars. Because now that Trump got elected and he didn't ruin it, now he's just more famous than ever. If he would have lost, people would have blamed him and hated him forever. But now he's like the most famous comedian in the world, they're saying.
Yeah, I believe
I
that.
mean, now that Trump is elected,
Right.
it's likely. My hot take is that MAGA is so cocky right now.
Yeah.
That they're going to overcorrect.
That's possible.
And the same way the left overcorrected in the last 4 years. And they're going to alienate the middle.
Except that there's the PayPal mafia there that have very different agendas than MAGA. MAGA and PayPal mafia are not the same.
We'll see how much he lets them run it.
I think he's going to. I think he's playing for legacy. It's very different.
When you see how Trump treats Elon in this documentary, because
Yeah.
they're all over it
Yeah.
together, including when they went back to Butler, Pennsylvania, and Elon came out on stage for the first time.
Yeah.
I think he's going to let him run it.
Let Elon run it.
Yeah.
He's like
He's a fan.
Yeah, he's a fan.
Yeah.
Elon's a mythical creature, whether you like it or not. We've never seen a human being like this. He's it. This is it. Like,
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I mean, literally,
Let's see.
If he's
when
letting-
they did the Twitter Spaces, and apparently it got like the servers got attacked.
I was waiting for you.
Elon says, "Hey, they tried to assassinate you in real life, and now they're trying to assassinate you digitally. We had a server attack," and Trump goes, "Hey, would you believe that? A server attack? I don't even know what that means, but it sounds cool." He's like, "Whatever you want, Elon. Take as much time as you need. I got all the time in the world. Go ahead,
got him
Elon."
elected.
Yeah.
Elon got him elected. Of course he's gonna.
But Anna, to your point, I do want to give you, I think that, and especially because you admitted that the left went a little too far, I think that is a real risk. I think right now, the one thing I don't like all the left media calling all the voters racist and misogynist, but I also don't like that the right is really dunking on them a lot.
Yes.
And like, it's okay. Like, okay, we got our week-long victory parade. I think everyone needs to tone it down a little.
By the way, even Trump feels a little toned down.
Yeah.
Right? Like, where is he not? Why isn't he like more? He only went after.
Offering to pay for the thing, even though it's a diss,
It's
it's
a
like
diss.
it is. He wouldn't have done that before. He would have been like, stupid Nancy
Yeah,
Pelosi.
yeah.
They don't know how to manage a budget.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that's my point, is that there's the MAGA piece to this, and then there's the new entrants into the Trump campaign.
Right.
I think the new entrants are controlling the party.
But it's just, I think also to Anand's point, it's a lot of like the media.
Yeah.
Like you got to be careful.
They gaslight both sides Oh,
I know.
So I went
But
back and
they're
forth
making, like-
between CNN and Fox News during the election night.
Me too.
They're so annoying. Fucking both of those channels.
So Clay Travis, who's one of the leading Republican kind of thinkers,
Voice, right?
he has like
he
the
gaslights all day.
on election night when it was clear.
Yeah.
He said, "Kamala, Biden, bitch."
Yeah.
You got to be
You
careful.
can't.
of that.
You can't
Yeah.
do that.
There was that
stuff.
lawyer that said they're going to put Letitia James' fat ass in jail, whoever it was.
Yeah.
Like, you got to chill
I
a little
think they're
bit.
going to go so hard, and they keep calling her an idiot. This is the dumbest election campaign you could have ever done. This is they're such idiots.
Look, you can do it for a week. I feel like
You gotta-
they have to.
The course correct right away.
they were just called
Well,
Nazis and
Daddy Trump needs to call all these guys.
yeah.
Tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because by the way, if they shut up, they all shut up and dribble.
Yep.
They actually might get something done. Because
Because
they can't help themselves, it's a different problem.
I do believe, I'm not saying he's capable of it. I'm not saying whatever. Time will tell. I do believe that Trump, in his very ego-driven brain, thinks that he can create a golden age, which is what he said.
Yeah.
And I think that he is smart enough to know that if you start bullying people, that's not going to work.
I don't think I disagree with. I actually
Really?
think he can't. The bullying is natural to him.
No, I think he's a tough, like, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the right media making montages of people crying on TikTok and laughing at them and calling them fat asses and shit.
Yeah.
You got to chill with that.
Yeah. That's not going to help. I agree. That's just stupid.
Like when there's
It's not
kids,
effective.
there's like 20-year-old kids crying, like all my rights are gone and life is miserable. Yes, it's silly and ridiculous, but like
Leave it alone.
after a week, leave it alone.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
try to genuinely get people on your side or at least to be okay with it. Don't go back to the like, don't feed into the Trump's a bigot
Yeah.
and look at all of his people. Last time, a really valid argument, even though I don't in time now think that it was exactly Trump's fault. I think it was actually the left media's fault. But there is an argument that Trump sort of brings some bad people out of their shell.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is a concern. It's a huge concern.
Yes. And I think that's, to be honest, I really blame the media for that. Because like a perfect example is when Trump said, find people on both sides, which is not exactly what he said.
Yeah.
But when those people hear that and the media gets all riled up, they feel a little bit more empowered.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
I think you got to be careful not to let all the bullies out.
Yeah, I think he has to like. I mean, look, hiring a chief of staff that's a woman. I mean, he's doing things like
Right.
you're going to see some cabinet appointments that are going to make him look like whoa.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be the good old boys this time around.
Right.
I think he knows that his first crew, that was the BCF team that he had around him.
I mean, not having Mike Pompeo seems pretty. I don't know a lot about this topic,
Yeah.
but it seems like a pretty big move.
Yeah.
Like that was his guy, but apparently everyone says like look out for him. Like he
Yeah.
is Warhawk,
Yeah.
swamp dude.
Yeah.
And like coming out publicly already and saying I'm not going to have him
Yeah.
just feels, I don't know.
Yeah. We'll see who he actually picks.
I mean,
either way,
you
it'll be
got to watch
entertaining.
this. I forgot too. There's a scene where even JD Vance goes up to Elon at the rally in the back in the tent. And is like, hey, tell me what happened in North Carolina where there was the hurricane and Elon sent Starlink. And Elon's like, oh, well, here's what happened. They wouldn't let us land and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, we need to fix this. And JD's like, I agree with you. We do need to fix that. Like, it
Just like whatever he says.
Yeah, like, we're on it, sir. We got it. Like, it's,
I mean, if Elon's running the country, I'm very optimistic.
yeah. I mean, I would say he seems to be the world's greatest operator. And but the number one actually compliment that I hear about Elon is his ability to find and attract talent is unlike anyone
Yeah.
else.
Did you see that he recommended that SpaceX top people go to the federal government? It was in the information.
I saw that. Yeah.
That like he's like you should recruit from SpaceX. They're the best people in the world. That's my point. I said this in the last episode. The talent pool that's about to show up in Washington D.C. because who's in charge, it's going to be nuts.
And that's, I think, what momentum does. I think positivity and optimism does that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
It's just who the fuck knows. I think at the same time, too, like Elon and Trump could get in an argument in a month and Elon
it's
could
all
be
over.
out.
That's
Right.
what
It's all
prediction
possible.
is.
It's all
Because he's going to get too much credit, and Trump's 78. He doesn't give a fuck about the country.
I think Elon doesn't want the credit because he doesn't want the target on his back.
Yeah.
I don't know if you look at his Twitter, he wants the credit.
But he didn't stay for the rally. That was the moment. If you wanted credit, you get
did
up on
a
stage.
generative AI of him in front of the American flag when it was clear Trump won.
Yeah, look, I'm not being negative. I just want to be realistic and say, who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
I
we
think
have
it's
no
who
idea.
knows, and I think optimism is fine if you believe in the things they're doing, but to think that your business is going to
I think your business is going to boom the next 4 years. Have that mindset.
Well, let me say this. I think if you are
because
going,
we are a business podcast.
yeah, here's what I feel comfortable saying. I think if you are interested in starting a business, there is no time like today. Is Donald Trump going to make your shitty product good? No. Is he going to skip any of the steps of what you have to learn and the hard work and all that?
But
Absolutely
what would have been
not.
different 4 years ago?
I think the environment is about to be very just good and business friendly.
So give me an example
Uh-huh.
of
M&A, Lena Khan. That is big. You know that's big.
That's
Don't
for
brush that off.
billion-dollar companies. He's talking about small
iRobot
business.
couldn't get whatever fuck. What's that company? The
Roomba.
couldn't get bought.
I genuinely believe that if spirits are high, like more people go to restaurants, more people get gifts, more people like
The
D said.
traffic this weekend was out of control.
Like D said, consumer confidence is not a metric of how much money cash people have in the bank. It's really a measure of how much money they think they'll be able to
consumer
make in
confidence
the
is
future.
the single most important metric in consumer spending. If consumers have confidence, I guarantee you this Christmas, bank it. It's going to be fucking good.
You've been saying it's going to be terrible.
But now look at the momentum. Everyone I know is so fucking over the moon about what's going on. They're going to spend more money blindly, even though their
I
economic
don't know.
ability to spend
Well,
has not increased.
That's why I'll go back to my statement. I'm not saying anything other than I don't think there's a better, you're not going to get a better time.
I think for big tech, it's great.
Right. I think for everybody. I just think I don't know how to say this so that it resonates. I'm not saying.
But for a sub $20 million business, it has no effect.
That's what you think. You're allowed to have that opinion. We think
I think
otherwise.
it does. I think it does. But look, all I'm saying is this. This is why I'm fine with saying what I'm saying. Doesn't mean you're going to make more money. It doesn't mean it's going to be easier. It doesn't mean anything. It just means if you've been wanting to start a business, then start now. Like there's momentum happening. There will probably be some, maybe tax benefits coming. There might be some, who knows, a friendly environment for small businesses in the country. I believe that it will at least feel that way. And start.
By the way,
And then if you fail, blame Trump.
this week I started lifting weights because I did see on Twitter there's a chance body fat might include your tax rate. So I was like, fuck, I'm fat. I need to get the weight room.
See? It's working.
It did.
Yeah.
Momentum. Instantly, I was like, I need to start lifting weights. I did 3 days of weights. I have not done weights since 1999.
Right.
I've been doing weights. I told Drama.
But I'm doing it because of tax rate.
If you guys want to fucking cut your taxes real quick, holler at me.
Yeah.
I'll fucking get
I
you
mean,
guys
if
a
I can
rip.
get down to, sub 20% body fat.
What's that guy's name again? The fucking actor that got ripped?
Which one?
Kunal.
Yeah, is that who it is? You'll be looking like him come fucking tax season.
I mean, if Robert RFK comes out and says, hey, it goes by your body fat, that's your tax rate.
right.
Believe me, I'm in the fucking gym pumping iron.
But look at what even the rumor does. Like you went and physically picked up weights
I had weights in my office. I took it home and I started fucking pumping them.
on a rumor.
Yeah.
And you're a 44-year-old man. And you bought into it.
I bought the hype.
Yeah. I don't know, man. But I'll just tell you once again, I'm not betting on anything happening, but I am so excited to see how this shit plays out.
Speaking of momentum,
Yeah.
one of the things that there's 2 pieces of news I wanted to touch on. One was Vuori,
I mean, fucking hell.
General Atlantic and Stripes led a new round of financing of around $800 million, valuing the company at $5.5 billion.
I just became a Vuori
Guy.
guy.
Okay.
And that really had nothing to do with this. That's fucking crazy. The reason why I say is because like I've been to a couple other stores. I know their website. Like I'm familiar.
Where's their store?
Sherman Oaks.
Okay.
By the
in the
West
Sportsman
Hollywood
Lounge?
Sherman Oaks. Yeah. That's fucking bananas.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. This is like one, congratulations, because that's bananas valuation.
Do you know them or no?
No, I don't know them.
Are they
and
here?
The brand is less than 10 years old.
Are they LA?
San Diego. Or like San Clemente or one of those.
What do they do? $1 billion in revenue, I think.
I mean, fuck knows. They might be so
I would
profitable,
assume.
it may not matter.
But like,
But $5.5 billion, that just tells you active wear is still the best place to be. Because you look at On Running, you look at Hoka, you look at Vuori, you look at all of these brands, Nike dropped the ball so hard that
It's
everyone
also
took their lunch.
really expensive.
Because it's very
Yes.
expensive.
Like very expensive.
How much is a shirt?
Their pants is what they're known
James
for.
Purse is $85.
No, James Purse
What, for
has
a
t-shirts
shirt?
for 40.
No.
They're $50.
I buy James Purse.
But there's
my
some-
entire wardrobe's James Purse. It's $85.
But they're always on sale. They're an outlet
But that's
business.
different. If they're stock.
What do you want to
price.
know? A shirt?
Yeah.
Can't be James Purse.
No, look at Vuori.
No, I know. I'm saying it can't be that price, right?
No, it's not. It's not. It's like $100 pant. It's definitely nowhere near James Purse pricing.
I'm not on the new Wi-Fi.
But yeah, I mean, look, it's not cheap. It's not like Nike prices. It's more than Nike, but
It's more than Nike.
and by the way, Vuori really grew on the backs of men, and now they're cracking women. So if they crack women, it's over. It's a wrap. It's another stratosphere of sales.
Yeah, my shit won't load, but
$60 t-shirts, $74 long sleeves, $70 shorts, $128 pants.
The Vuori pant during the pandemic was the pant. Yeah, that was the pant. Everywhere I would go, everyone had a Vuori pant.
Right, their most popular tee is $54. But jackets and it's also, I mean, so is James Purse. I would say James Purse is like as high end as, not as it gets, but pretty fucking high end
For casual.
for blanks.
Yeah.
Vuori's right below it.
But Vuori is focused on performance.
$5.5 billion.
Right? Yeah,
And like, I mean, what's James Purse worth?
Not that.
not that.
Not that. And also, I would argue like James Purse is I don't know, such a brand. Like Vuori, I know it's, how to say it. Like I know Vuori is a well-known brand, but
James Purse has a cachet.
It has a
It's just
cachet.
not, I mean, it's just too expensive.
Yeah.
that's fucking, I mean, just because we were in apparel, like 5.5 billion is unbelievable.
That's a thing in apparel which we can appreciate because we realize how hard it is. We haven't seen, I can't tell you the last brand that was $5.5 billion.
Oh, and in sub 10 years, like it's such a new.
Like Fashion Nova is not, and I know they're multi-brand,
Yeah.
but I don't think they're worth $5.5 billion
I would say they're probably in the range.
in the range.
Yeah.
But this is
so
marked.
different.
I know, but Shein's worth like 100.
Yeah, but that's a marketplace.
Yeah.
Very
This
different.
is fucking blanks.
Yeah. Literally. It's a very well executed brand.
Good for
Do you know
them.
the founder?
No,
If
I
anyone
don't
at
know anything
Vuori
about them.
high up listens, fucking hit us up.
Send us some
discount
product.
We're fans.
No, send us product.
I just want to know. Like,
I'll
some
switch from
stories.
James Purse to Vuori.
It's a performance brand, right? It's like
Those are Vuori pants?
Yeah, I just bought like a bunch of Vuori everything. Those shorts that I was wearing back when it was hot out, everything's Vuori. Because for me, I'm such a like guy, you know, like I've been wearing the same white tees for fucking 10 years. You guys know that. Once I find something that just is easy, I just buy a bunch of it in different colors, and they fucking nailed it.
that's how I am
Especially
right
now that
now.
I'm like a fitness guy, you know.
I'm
Whatever.
all in on the Gap. That's what I've been buying.
Jesus Christ.
I
fucking washed up
$14
dad.
t-shirts, two for 25.
Wait till you get that exit. Wait till Trump gets in office. You'll switch to Vuori.
You should buy now with all your optimism.
Yeah,
Just-
Kamala's
well, I
got
don't
you at
know.
the
You
gas.
just-
Maybe, you know what? I did. I bought my Celine jacket with the optimism of Trump.
You should run in Vince t-shirts. What are those? Probably
They're
$250.
too sweaty.
Yeah, you will
I will
be.
I will buy one high-end workout outfit.
I think by the end of
Optimism
4 years,
workout.
yeah. I think by the end of the 4 years, you'll be in. We got to get you out of the gap. Biden put you in the gap. And we'll get you out.
I just like Gap t-shirts. They're great.
Speaking of wild success in the area of apparel,
Oh my God, it's so awesome.
our good friends over at Revolve
Revolve
are just
comes out.
Russian.
You know, multi-brand retail right now is struggling. Everyone I talk to is having a hard time. Not the people over at Revolve, are good friends. They
This is their second big earnings call. Huh?
crushed revenue, crushed earnings. Stock went through the roof. Now the company, I think the stock went up like 20% in the last. I mean, I think it may have gone up like 30% in this last week.
You know what optimism sells you? More going out outfits for women.
Yeah.
I mean that. That's an optimism. I'm not saying that this is a Trump success.
Is it Trump play?
But I am saying it just reminds me of another thing that people do when they're happy and optimistic.
Yeah.
Is they buy like going out clothes.
Of course. I mean, look, I think they're poised to do really well the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, if you did well the last 2 years sucked.
Yep.
For apparel, sucked.
Well, and like to have really the last two earnings, pretty wild to crush both of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Good for them. Yeah.
Good marketing, great discipline as operators.
We should have
They wanted to come. They're going to find time. Bryce and Michael are going to come.
this is a good time.
Awesome.
Yeah. We want to
And-
hear what they're doing.
They've been posting their opening at the Grove, which is my Disneyland.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to go there. Are you going to go to their opening?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I RSVP'd.
This week.
Is
right?
that store open currently? It looks like it.
I think
Right?
it
Oh,
is,
yeah.
Soft
it is open.
opening.
It is open. Because I
But
actually
they're
had
like
someone.
opening is
Yeah.
Thursday.
Yeah.
The fun night.
Yeah,
Exciting.
good for them.
Congrats.
It's so crazy how they continue to just fucking crush it.
I mean, they're going to ride that wave for the next 4 years.
Yeah, lots of parties, lots of fucking, people needing nice outfits.
Shout
Okay,
outs?
let's do our top YouTube comments. Is that what these are?
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, just a reminder, and this is we are about to enter the prime time for if you guys want to roast us or you want to say who you support or whatever you want to do, YouTube is the place to do it. We see all the comments, group chat news over on YouTube. And yeah, so we always highlight some of our, some of the more interesting comments, but I have a feeling things are going to get more spicy now that we're more, talking about all this fucking Trump optimism.
First one is from Neeraj.
Ooh, he's going to like this.
As the number one Zach hater, this was a really good Zach episode.
There you
Also,
go.
Anand, Matt, appreciate you for willing to take on the counterpoint and push back so often.
Yeah, props to you on it. It was 3v1.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3v1's tough.
Fresh off a defeat, and it was 3v1. That's pretty
It's
rough.
USA versus Canada.
Right.
Yeah, I felt like the dream team was against me.
Right. That was not fair. Okay, yeah, and props to there's some love for Zach. I mean, there is a very small, very loud group of Zach haters.
Yeah.
Most people love it.
So
Yeah.
if you were to remove the politics from last episode, because he was very clear where he stands,
Yeah.
where's the hate on him?
If I
know.
were to be objective about it, and I know he listens, I'll tell you.
He's probably going to be on a plane listening in the morning.
So I'll tell you what it is. He's
take the
very
politics-
very dark, right? If there's a few episodes where it's very like his view of the future is not great.
Mm.
Like
didn't
it
even think about
feels
that.
like
Oh yeah, like CIA, deep state.
deep state
End of an
guns.
empire.
It's just like
no one wants to hear that.
that's not optimism.
Yeah.
You
You're
gotta
right.
tell me optimism.
Well, his whole tone has changed.
Yeah.
He's not-
I know. The last episode, he was all optimism, and maybe he needed a Trump victory to change his tone. But like previous episodes, it was like,
Yeah.
and like his crew is that's what they believe.
Talking about Zach reminded me, I was going to say that my parents really enjoyed Zach and his thing, which reminded me that next Sunday, my dad will be here.
Oh, wow. I love that.
And my dad texted me this tonight.
Wow, things are getting better already. Gas price, it's that cheap in Ohio?
I guess.
What?
JD Vance.
$2.30.
So my dad's kind of joking here, but
But that's
it's an
optimism.
example. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Your dad's gonna go order the dessert tonight.
Yeah, like that gas price has nothing to do with Donald Trump.
Zero.
But people in Ohio are like, man, I'm glad. Like
You know
they
what?
think they voted.
A round of drinks.
They voted on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And gas prices are cheaper today.
Yeah.
Not my dad doesn't think that, but a lot of Ohio voters.
Oh my
do.
God.
Yeah.
Love you, Mr.
The next
Path.
comment is from Angelo. As a Mexican immigrant in limbo, I was a bit worried at first, but I think we're going to be okay. He's got great people around him and trust that he'll do the right thing. I hope this comment ages well. Ha. Well, if not, it'll be from Angelo from Mexico.
Did you see that? Like there was like a huge fucking group of people in New York of illegal immigrants.
Why would you do that?
Dude?
I think that's a fucking
psyop.
Yeah,
No.
that is not real.
right.
If you're an illegal immigrant, you would all go march together. I
mean,
literally
don't you
wanted to post like, are you just snitching on yourself?
Right? You want Trump to just open up some semi trucks at the end of Fifth Ave and you just march right into them?
That's paid for.
That seems psyop.
Yeah. Shout out from Nicholas Lord. Want to give D a big shout out for getting me into running with Run Club 7 years ago. Just finished my first full marathon and running has changed my life. So thank you, D and Luke. Oh, that's amazing. It's funny. I actually got a lot of DMs after the New York City Marathon that either the 75-mile challenge or the Run Club got them addicted to running, and they did the Run Club.
You've done one marathon, right?
I've only done one full. I've done many halves.
You think you'll do any more ever?
When the
Seem
kids are
pretty
older, I'll definitely do full.
Really?
Yeah.
And you don't do Run Club anymore, right?
I do every Saturday. You still do? Every Saturday, Santa Monica and Doheny at the water
You're
fountain.
like Elon, bro.
Yeah.
You're fucking New York, raising money, fucking Run Club.
Maybe I'll be
Now you
president.
run the
You're
government.
dictating policy at the park down the street off of Sepulveda.
I mean, if I want to be the Elon of West Hollywood, and I'm going to clean up those fucking bathrooms all over town. Only one good bathroom in West Hollywood is at West Hollywood Park, and they have a guy staying there the whole goddamn time.
Right. What's the one that's terrible? The Grove.
The Pan
Pan
Pacific Park.
right.
That is.
Pacific. Yeah, you can't go
I want to
there.
be the Elon of that park.
That's just needles.
That's a good goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I have one shout out.
Okay.
Shane McConnell.
Okay.
He's a Nike designer that got contracted from MLB. The last pod, I wore that Dodger blue hat that he sent me that he
amazing.
designed.
Amazing.
And it was really cool. I wish I wore it today, but I was just in a rush and I just grabbed
You
it.
went to the park today?
I wore it to the park and I
Yeah.
wore it on the last episode.
Yeah.
And he's an up and coming designer.
No, he's great.
And I think you've met him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He ended up working at like Massive or one of the screen printers that we know.
Okay.
That's how I first met him. Good for him. That's great.
Sick hat.
It's a great hat.
Okay, well, we fucking did it, man. I mean, everyone just gear up.
Wake up, be positive.
Bitcoin's
Enjoy
going
the
to
ride.
100K tomorrow.
If it hits 100, whatever I have, I'm liquidating. That's too optimistic.
If it hits
if it's
100,
100K
if it hits
this
100,
week,
I'm buying
I'm
that
out.
watch.
Yeah.
What should I buy?
Fucking a
Buy a
house.
house, buy a house.
a new house in a gated
If
community.
it gets to
I guess?
100 this week, I'm fucking out. All of it. Done.
Yeah. 100%.
I'm at 250K where I start liquidating.
You might get there Tuesday.
Yeah. 100K, I buy a Hockman celebration gift of some sort to myself.
Let me tell you something. If I hit 100K, I'm buying a logo designer t-shirt. That's what I'll do.
Bro, get a fucking Vuori package.
No, I want something with a logo that
Get out of
says
the
I
Gap.
have money.
Why do you wear the Gap? Are you still holding on to fucking Yeezy's deal from 5 years ago?
I am.
Jesus, he's out. He lost it. All right. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you're feeling, okay. And even better, I hope you're feeling wildly fucking optimistic because we could be in for a good run here. We'll see. Take care. Have a great week. America.